Yeah. Okay, watching stuff and looking at that, I'm just thinking, we all want to be perfect. Well, good luck and God bless you. Because back in 1970, I was working on a TV show called Partners at Universal, and I was still using my extra card, and I was standing in for an actor, Rupert Cross, and when he got a stunt, then I would get bumped up on my A card, and then I would do the stunt. Well, Don Adams, the other star, was directing an episode, and there was a shot where they wanted a car to go down the road, and Don Adams decided to let me do it. And so I was driving, the other stand-in was in the passenger seat. It was a brand new Lincoln Continental that was borrowed from the executive at the Black Tower at Universal. Universal at that time, that little black building was the tallest thing there, and any word that came from that building was Godspeed. And so they borrowed this car. We're going to just do a run by in the back lot, and we'll get it back to you. So yeah, right. So Don Adams says, okay, get ready. And I said, okay. He told me, he said, I want you to go down this road, halfway down, zigzag back and forth like the tire got shot out, and then take the grill up to that camera that's on the ground up there, turn out. And I said, okay, Don, can I just take the car? I just got in it, can I check the steering and the brakes? He says, Jesus Christ, Henry, I want to get this before lunch. Can't you do it? I go, yeah, I can do it. So they line up, we line up. They say action, I take off. A little too fast, but I take off. And I get halfway down, I zigzag back and forth. That went good. And so now I take it into this camera. I took it into the camera and turned out. And as I turned out, I was over in the passenger seat. Woo! I forgot my seatbelt. And so now I'm going to save this car because I turned and I'm spinning. The momentum took me out. I push with this foot to push myself back, which happened to be on top of the gas pedal. Now this thing is floored, and I'm hanging on to the steering wheel. I gotta save this car. All I have to do is take my foot off the gas, but I'm gonna save this car. Now we turn around, and I get a 180, and I get a little momentum loss, so I pull myself back under the steering wheel, and I'm still floored. I didn't take my foot off the gas. And so now I'm headed for off this hill. I got to save it from going off this hill. So I'm still floored. I turn the wheel, I'm spinning around. I finally get to the edge and I stop. And I'm like, oh, God dang, I just saved this car. But in fixing that road up, they bladed the road back and all the excess dirt, they pushed it off the side of the hill. And for a soft shoulder, but that's where I ended up. And so I'm thinking, I just saved this car. And I started turning down the hill. Brand new Lincoln Continental from the executive. Started down the hill. We got caught by a tree, and so we're hanging upside down, me and the other stand-in. Gas is pouring out, fumes are everywhere. This guy was on that side, he was pinned up against the hill so he couldn't get out of his window. So he reached up, which was smart, turned off the key. I still got the footprint on my face where he stepped on me and got out of there. Now, I'm sitting there going, I want to die. And they're screaming, Henry, are you okay? Gas pouring everywhere, fumes everywhere. I won't come out. I'm too embarrassed. I'm standing there, and finally I come out. And luckily nothing caught on fire or anything like that. The car was totaled, but nothing else. And so, sadly, for the rest of the season, my character never drove a car, ride a bicycle. now, they're gonna redo this shop. And there's a guy named Howard Curtis. He was kind of Universal's guy, he was a stunt coordinator and a stunt man. And so they had him driving the car. This time I was the passenger. So we're sitting there and they're getting ready to go. And they were talking about stand by, and I'm watching Howard, and I knew Howard. And I'm watching him and go, okay. And they're saying stand by, and then they start, and I'm going, okay. And they said, and I noticed he hadn't put his seatbelt on. I'm thinking, well, maybe he knows something I don't know. So I'm just gonna watch. And then when they said action, I said, I cannot not tell him. I have to tell him, because I don't want the same thing that happened to him. So I said, Howard, don't forget your seatbelt. He went, oh yeah, thanks. Now he does the shot and does it fine. And at that point, I realized, even though things didn't go well, I realized that stunt work is a team effort. Say something. You're a passenger is not just the guy sitting in the seat eating craft service all day. You've got a responsibility to help the driver pay attention and do anything that he can do to help him. So now that I figured my life was over, I'd never get another child. And a few years later, Craig Baxley got me on Dukes of Hazzard. And so now my first shot was to take this car and go around the circle. So I got in the car and I took off a little too fast. As I started out and I started to go around the backside of the circle, Hassan kicks out. And the back slides out there, and I'm going, don't floor it, stay even. So now the back ends out, and I let off the gas, it starts to go a little too slow, and so then I pick it back up, and I feel myself, it's pretty good. And so I got sideways, and I went around the circle sideways. And when I finished, the guy said, oh, fuck, man, that was awesome. How'd you do that? I said, start fear. And so I was on the show, I was supposed to be on it 6 months, I ended up almost 3 years. So what else? Yeah, so that teamwork, I was talking about teamwork, and then when I got on Dukes of Hazzard, we teamwork, everybody was working together. Back then, you got a car and you just jumped whatever seat was in it. There were no jump seats. We were landing, hurting our backs, hurting our necks. We were trying to figure out how to soften the landing. So we would stuff furniture pads under the seat, try to hope to soften it. We'd put sponge under there. Somebody brought in a wheelbarrow inner tube. We'd put it under the seat and blew it up. Just trying everything to help us not hit so hard. Then Bob Orson came up with this idea, you need a jump vest. What do you mean jump vest? He said, something to hold your upper torso up. And so we pitched in, gave him some money, he went and had the thing made. And then we were all working together. One guy uses it, and we find out if he needs more rump bungee, less bungee. So we were working our way through that and got the harness to where we could help ourselves not end up with such bad backs and necks. And then on the same token, we were working on the cars jumping and they nose in, tears up the car, messes up everything, so they didn't care about tearing up the car. But, we started trying to figure out and said, put weight in the back. So we would put dirt, we'd put sandbags, we'd grab logs and stuff and throw it in the back, in the trunk to try to weight it down. So we were figuring stuff out. So it was all teamwork, everything was really cool, everybody was really nice, fun. We all worked together and got things done and helped ourselves and for anybody else that needed to figure out how to jump or save themselves in these jumps. Then, real quick, Craig goes to A-Team. A-Team, the pilot of A-Team. And so there's, Craig said, I want to do some open cage pipe ramps with Jeeps. Wait a minute, Craig. You know what this is? Time out, right? You know what this is? Wait just a fucking minute. Craig, open cage, there's nothing to protect, there's nothing, everything can come in. Our hands can go out and roll over the cage, pull it off. And he said, well, I talked to production and I told him I want to start paying $2,500 for a pipe rest. And then I said, and nobody was paying $2,500 back then for a pipe rest. And I said, wait a minute, let me see. $2,500 for the pipe round. A couple of months later, $2,500 for a rerun. And then if you make opening credits, $2,500 for 13 runs, $7,500. Craig, let's talk about this. This might work out. And then we were all scared to death because these cages were made in Mexico. We didn't know what they were going to do, how they were going to work. And I was the test pilot, the first one up. So I go in, a little too fast. They actually on Dukes gave me a tag of lead foot because I was always trying to go too fast. But anyway, like that tree you saw, that his car hit the tree, the seat broke, the motor came back 2.5 feet. I hit the steering wheel, separated my wheels, damaged my pancreas, and broke my neck. And that was just when it starts. So now I'm doing this pipe ramp, and I go hit it, and it goes sailing through the air, and it lands on the corner of the cage. And it looked like it buried in the dirt because there's no protection to stop it. And so these guys come running over. Freddie Ice too, where are you, Freddie? The guys come running over. Are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm going, They said, are you okay? Is it your neck? And so I couldn't talk. The pain was so bad that it's like getting the wind knocked out of you, but it was just the pain was so bad. And I was going, and so what had happened was, when you're up in the air and you turn over and you start to come down, you slide forward in the seat a little bit, and then when you hit, the impact pushes you forward also. And there's a 5-point, shoulders, laps, and a crotch strap. The crotch strap goes over the seat and down in front of you and down to the floor. So when you hit that impact, you slide forward, you stretch the belt, the seat pinches into the seat. There's a little one-eyed monster down there. And the seat and the belt pinch together and pinch the head of it. And I was screaming like a little baby girl. It hurt so bad. And I told him, I finally got my breath, and I told him what happened. And I said, and they went, what? Oh, now they want to walk away. I said, wait a minute, this is teamwork. If I'm in pain, does anybody want to kiss it and make it better? BSA for Black Summer Association for all the help and work we did trying to get the industry, changing the face of the industry. Craig Baxley, who was a great friend who helped me get myself back on track going through Dukes. Paul Baxley, Gary Baxley, Jeffy Matasan, all these people that believed in me and helped me. John and Sandy Carpenter believed in all of us and put us in there. Storm and Norm and Hal. He trusted me. Sidney Porte, Harold Belfonte. When we were basically blackballed, we were considered troublemakers, but Sidney and Harry still hired us and kept us working so we could continue our quest for work. And the Stuntmen's Association, you guys are awesome. I was invited to the dinner. We had a dinner this year. You guys invited me. I think that was really thoughtful and class act. I appreciate it. Thank you. Jack Gill and Andy Gill. Shit. I've been through more. I don't know how we survived some of the things we went through. But that was, appreciate you guys. Troy Brown, appreciate you. Steve Paterni, Melissa Stubbs, Kenny Bates, Debbie Evans, Donna Evans, Tracy Dashnoff, Stumps Unlimited, and then there's Spiro. There's Cher, Oprah, Beyonce, Michelle, and Spiro. But then he is talking about a friend, a true friend, and employer. He took care of his team, talking about teamwork, Team Malacca. He carried us all around the world. And, amazing. Talking about getting the shirt off your back. He'd give you all the skin off his body. But he'd talk about you after he did it. So he's awesome. And my kids, I love my kids.